Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing Film Analysis. This is your host, Mr. BDA, and alongside with me as always, my co-host, the one, the only, King Bucho.
Hello guys.
That's right. Now listen, just a heads up, we're going to be doing all the film analysis here at BDA Live from now on, and all the live podcasts are going to be done at BDA. I know it doesn't make sense that the channel that's named BDA Live doesn't have any podcasts, but hey, we do what we got to do, right, Bucho?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But listen, enough talking, let's get down to business. I want to talk about in this episode Anthony Joshua, 22-0 with 21 knockouts, taking on Jarrell Big Baby Miller, 23-0 with 20 knockouts. The fight's going to be taking place in Madison Square Garden on June the 1st. And it's going to be an interesting fight. Miller is no small guy. You know, Joshua is like, what, 240 pounds, 50 pounds usually?
Yeah.
6 foot, what, 6?
Joshua, yeah, 6'6", yeah, 250 something pounds.
Because suppose they have, yeah, okay.
What are they having at box rate? They have him at 6'6".
Right, and Miller is listed as 6'4". So they're not little men in there. And of course, the big story coming in with Miller in each fight is that sometimes he can weigh up to 300 pounds. So even though Joshua's no small guy in there, Miller is going to outweigh him. Now the question here with Miller is, how good is he? Can he spring the upset? And we're going to be taking a look at clips from the Duhaupas fight, Johan Duhaupas. It's an interesting fight to look at because Duhaupas is a big dude, 6'5", so it should give us an idea of how Miller does against big men. Because Marius Wack, remember Marius Wack, who Miller fought? He's this big German dude, just way too slow. He didn't give Miller a fight. It was just a punching bag in there. Duhaupas, on the other hand, he gave him an interesting challenge, and he went 12 rounds. Now, Duhaupas was stopped by Povetkin and by Deontay Wilder. Povetkin stopped him in the 6th round. Deontay Wilder stopped him in the 11th, if I remember correctly. So the fact that Miller wasn't able to stop him was a bit of a letdown, but he did clearly win the fight. So we're going to take a look at two things here, Bucho. The overhand right from Miller and the uppercut, which comes set up by the overhand right, and how he can pull off some of those things against Anthony Joshua. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so here you have Big Baby Miller in the black and purple trunks against Duhaupas in the green trunks. What is it, a crocodile or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a crocodile aficionado. Oh yeah, it's a reptile. You see, anyway, listen. Let's take a look at this overhand right, Butch, all right? Oh, there we go. So you can see here, boom, catches him with the overhand, right? Why am I pausing this? All right, let's rewind that because it was lagging a little bit. Boom, nice crisp overhand right. Leading with the overhand. You see he stunned him there a little bit, and see he follows it up with the uppercut.
With the right uppercut, right? Yeah.
But that the overhand, we're taking
the overhand right, and then came a right uppercut. No?
Yes. Well, we're gonna look at it in slow motion. But see how he, first of all, notice how he always follows it up with hooks to the body. He's a good body puncher. There's not a lot of heavyweights that go to the body. No. But then look, he does the old trick of holding people behind the head or over the head to control them, and then. Yeah, which Joshua does as well, by the way. We're going to take a look at that in another episode. We just don't want to cover too many things here, so otherwise the video is going to be way too long. Right here you see him, again, using that left hand to find the range, and he hits him. His punches get over behind Duhaupas' hand, or behind his guard, right? So you see another overhand right. Here he comes in with a straight right over Duhaupas' lazy jab. See, he drops it, so he catches a right, follows it with a left, and then he sets him up with the right. This is because he's seeing that Duhaupas, see how he just covers up and tucks his chin in?
Yeah.
So he's right there for the uppercut. Another overhand right. Another, see, right behind the guard there. Gosh. And Joshua, that's what he does. That's his main defense. Once you get past his jab, all he does is put the hands up. See there, another overhand right. Now, the fact that Duhaupas never went down, though. He was stunned a couple of times. But he never went down. He was never stopped. Meanwhile, Povetkin and Wilder were able to do it. So what do you think about Miller's power so far? You think it's a 300-pound
big guy, so you would assume that you would expect that he has a lot of power, and that's what some people are saying. Like, oh, he's fighting a big guy. Joshua's fighting a big guy, so can he take the power? He's big, but I don't know if the power is there. I really don't know, man. Like, this is a good example with the Duhaupas fight.
That's right. That's right, and that's the thing also is that he has thudding power. He has to have thudding power. I mean, he's a 300-pound guy, but you know that the type of power that puts you down with one shot type power, that's when you have a guy with speed.
I was going to say that you also need a bit of snap.
And at 300 pounds, I don't know, he can't really pull that off. I'm not saying those punches don't hurt, but I'm saying he's going to have to, if he wants to stop Joshua, it's going to have to be an accumulation. If he thinks he can knock Joshua out cold with one of those overhand rights, that's not going to happen. No. So let's take a look at Povetkin against Joshua. How Povetkin, who's what, 6'1", he's smaller than Miller, but he's faster. So don't expect Miller to be able to pull all of these things off. That being said, we see Joshua open for the same shot here, the overhand right. See that? When he's coming in, he's the bigger, taller guy. He's coming in with a jab way too close. He misjudges the distance, and he's open for that overhand right. See here? Povetkin changes levels. He goes down, and what does Joshua do? Because he like I said, he wants to hold people's heads down. So he tries to do it, but inadvertently, what he does is he's lowering his hand too.